these players are rip-roaring and ready to go.
Taking another shot off the bar and through. On target, saved away just in the last second. Right on a dime. This should be an easy goal. Shot opportunity done in style. Hit over top one, over top two. Does it have the drop? Yes, it does. What a start.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda with Logitech G, and I'm here with Daniel Gale from Adaptive Esports, Steve Spahn with Able Gamers, Dr. David Petrino with Mount Sinai, and you, Jesh, with Logitech G. Can you guys tell me a little bit about what the tournament is and why it's important?
The Adaptive Esports tournament was the brainchild of Daniel and Ujesh, who pulled together this amazing coalition of organizations that decided, you know what? There are all kinds of amazing esports opportunities out there for everyone to play, except if you happen to be disabled. So what if we made a tournament that was specifically designed to allow adaptive technology to enter the tournament and to allow you to play the way that you need to in order to compete at a high level and do an actual tournament where you can crush the competition using gaming the way you need to?
We've increased the prize pool. I think that's important, right? Start there. So we have over $50,000 in prizing. We've added more events. I think we have over 6 events now. And then based on feedback we got from the community, we also decided after we broadcast one of the qualifiers, after the broadcast, we're also going to open it up to some community game nights so people can just kind of hang out, play, get to know each other. And I think those are going to be done over Discord. But if you go to aet.gg, you can find out all the information on how we're doing all that stuff. But I think it's going to be really cool.
And maybe, Dr. Petrino, do you want to talk a little bit about why events like this are so important for this community?
Here at Mount Sinai, we're always working with individuals who are either living with a disability or newly disabled and starting to understand what that means for their life and what that means for the opportunities that are available to them. And one of the things that we're always striving for is just increased participation, increased acknowledgement of people with disabilities, and really centering the voices of people with disabilities so that they can be part of the conversation, so that they can, really advocate for the things that matter to them. And tons of folks with disabilities that we work with want to engage in esports. They want to play games, they want to compete, and they want to connect. And this is just a really awesome forum for people to do all of those things.
Does anyone want to share like their favorite moment from the last season and what they're hoping to see this season?
One of the most proud things for me about the tournament has been we're continuing to learn how to do promotional videos better and better. So the things you see coming out of all the charities and Logitech, we're doing better and better with getting to showcase the actual gamers. This is something that was really important to us, was having the ability to show people in their environments, playing with their technology on their setups, on their terms, and this allowed people to enter who never could have entered in a tournament before. And so we're getting better at showcasing these individuals. A lot of people in interviews, around press around the web will talk about how great, Logitech and the charities are, and all we did was really cobble together an event, and then we step out of the way to let people shine and let people who have disabilities get out onto the tournament floor, show us what they've got, and then go crush the competition.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I found was the most rewarding is when we got to talk to, not all of them, but we talked to a bunch of the participants last year and asked them what they liked, what they didn't like, and how do we make it better. That was rewarding because we got to hear directly from them. But two, I think they were happy and pleasantly surprised to hear that it wasn't just a one and done, and we're going to keep this going. So we talked about this year and the $50,000 in prizes, but we're going to do this. This is an annual thing. This is not a one and done. We're going to do this every year now, and we're making this to a big bona fide tournament. And the way that it gets bigger is through all of you. We need more and more and more people to participate. So if you already are participating, tell friends, tell their friends to tell their friends. If you're not, go sign up. But that's the way we're going to make this thing really big and grow.
I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of what we did here is, coming together, working with Adaptive Action Sports, who has done things like the Special Olympics before, coming up with the different levels of disabilities. A lot of people around the web have been talking about how it's neat to see that we have come up with a structure to be able to include everyone of various disabilities. Do you want to, for the home audience, do you want to really quickly describe how we managed to get everyone on the same playing field?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really worked to break things down into 3 different categories to start with. And I think that this is by no means perfect. I think we, to Ujesh's point, we're always learning. We're always trying to do better. The first group of individuals are people who have a disability of some sort, but do not require any novel sort of adaptive esports equipment. They can use non-adaptive controllers. Then we have a second tier of individuals who are able to work with a combination of adaptive controllers and non-adaptive controllers, and that's how they interact with the game. And then we have individuals who are unable to move arms or legs and are using adaptive control systems that really allow them to utilize eye movements, face movements, movements of their mouth and movements of their head to control the games. And it's really awesome to see everyone represented at every level, and how they do in the tournaments.
We've talked a lot about this year's competition. Can you tell me more about what you guys hope for the future?
I think the sky's the limit, Amanda, if I'm being honest with you here. We want this to be a tournament that is EVO's, level. We want this to be a tournament that people talk about every year. And honestly, it's about showing people that just because you're playing with adaptive technology doesn't mean you're not going to have the same kind of high-flying, high-intensity, awesome over-the-top antics that any other tournament might have. Our goal really here at the tournament has been, once we get this on the ground, we expect to see other tournaments will hopefully start letting more people with more adaptive technology into their tournaments. Eventually, we hope that people are like, oh, wow, people with disabilities can compete. Who would have imagined that in any way whatsoever? So that's really our hope, is just to kind of be the flagpole on the ground to say, hey, disabled people deserve a spot at the table too.
I mean, this really is just the beginning, and I think, a big piece of David touched on it for a second, but being able to, have people reach internationally now out is exciting, and so for me, I get really excited about thinking about, more outreach and getting more participation. So to me, that's exciting. And I think, the further we take it, the more we improve it from the inside out, the more participation we're going to have. And like Steve said, it could be, really huge, and that's how we picture it.
This tournament's success is all about whether or not people sign up. People in the disability community, including myself, have been wanting to see this kind of thing for years. This is the best shot that I've seen. I've been in this industry now, working with able gamers in video game space for going near 20 years now. I think I'm just turned 17 in the industry. So it's been a long time. People have been trying to do it for a long time, and every time something makes it fall apart. This was the first time that it came together, it ran successfully, and how it's going to keep growing is now to see public interest, to let people enjoy the sport, to let people participate. So if you're a disabled person, sign up for the tournament, even if you don't think that you're going to be quote unquote good. Go in, give it a shot, and if you don't do great, give it a shot next year and just keep coming back. That's the only way to do this, is to keep training yourself. And if you're somebody who just wants to watch, then tune into all the events on Logitech's channel on Twitch, the rebroadcast on YouTube. Get those eyeballs on there. People underestimate the power that they have where they just turn into something. If you tune into what we do, we'll be able to keep making it.
That way they'll have a nice cut on it.
Put that in there. No, leave that.
I'll know where they need to cut, right? Energy.
Steve Spawn with Able Gamer.
Able gamers.
Able Gamers. Sorry, Steve. Also from Logitech G.
Just one gamer.
Just one. It's me. I'm the gamer. Hello, everybody.
I never get asked to do more stuff, Spoon. It's just you, buddy.
I feel bad for the continuity because my cheeks are getting redder the more we're laughing.
I know. Cool them off.
Intros, take 54.
So first...
Welcome to Adaptive Esports Tournaments, a 2v2 Rocket League series for gamers with disabilities. It's free to enter for you and your team.
What a start.
Not only is there over $50,000 in cash and prizes, but there's an awful lot of fun, camaraderie, and excitement.
The goals have been happening so quick, I feel like we don't even get the chance to finish our thoughts. I'm trying to set the stage here, but they're just trying to play Rocket League, apparently.
But how does it all work? Well, you compete in open qualifier tournaments featuring single elimination brackets and a season finals featuring the top 8 teams. Sounds like your kind of thing.
A fantastic script being played out before our very eyes.
Right on a dime.
To sign up, just go to aet.gg. Create an account, apply to join, and complete your interview. Then jump in our Discord to register for qualifiers and get ready to play.
A dominant performance from start to finish.
That is an offensive perfection play.
What an effort.
So fundamentally at Logitech, we believe life is more fun when you play. So as a result, we think everyone should be able to enjoy the joys of play. So Microsoft is a super close partner of ours, so when they came and they said, hey, we're working on something in the accessibility space, we can't tell you what it is, but could you please support us? We knew we just had to do the right thing.
It was really very, very invigorating to find out that we had, a partner that was just as excited about this as we were. Logitech has really understood really quickly from the very beginning what we were trying to do. And, we all kind of feel the same way about how we want to empower gamers with disabilities. We started to talk about how Logitech could participate in this ecosystem.
When we first met Bryce and we saw the Xbox Adaptive Controller, we were just blown away. And that inspired us to go on this journey with them.
The development of the adaptive controller, by Xbox and Microsoft is definitely a huge statement from these companies.
Gaming in general allows the social integration that we all desire. While the Xbox adaptive controller has helped us leap forward, alone, it's just the starting point.
So when we first started looking at the Xbox adaptive controller, we realized it was just the beginning. And there was a bunch of different peripherals and gear that you had to buy to really unlock its full capabilities. This is something we really had, a responsibility to do and do well.
So what Logitech has done is basically empowered people by creating a ton of new switch and button options for them. And it's really going to open up gaming for a lot of people.
The Adaptive Gaming Kit was designed for the Xbox Adaptive Controller. It's a set of large buttons, small buttons, light touch buttons, and even variable trigger controls that they can plug in the pattern they like, in the way they like, and then arrange on their chair, on our hook and loop boards. There's unlimited ways they can be used, and that's just inspired the whole team. Microsoft tested it with us in their labs. We've tested it in the field with many, many users. Seeing people play and seeing the happiness that they can just get lost in the game again is priceless.
There's over 46 million gamers with disabilities in America alone who would just like to play, who just need a little bit of help doing it. So the Adaptive Gaming Kit will be the difference between playing or not playing at all.
The most exciting thing to me was just how beautiful it was. Seeing something made for disabled players that fits in with other Logitech equipment it shows that disabled players are just as big a gamers as anyone that's not disabled.
The Adaptive Gaming Kit will mean a sense of independence. It allows you to be able to put it together just like any other standard controller and allows you to tailor it to your experience.
Having the opportunity to play these games for the first time with tech like this, it really is a feeling of liberation.
Just because you see us in a chair or just because we might be a quad, it doesn't mean that we're not able.
I'm able to play games, so I'm not limited like I was before. Makes you feel a little less special, I call it.
One of the things that our lab has actually been discovering is that it's not just that games get you to perform lots and lots of repetitions that help you to recover, it's also the fact that you're having fun while you're doing it. Fun actually modulates the outcome of your therapy, and it's really important for neurological recovery.
So I'm really proud of the team at Logitech G for the work they did on this, but I'm really also thankful for all of our partners because we couldn't have done it without them. Microsoft, the folks at Special Effect, the team at the Abilities Research Center at Mount Sinai, and the folks at Able Gamers. They really helped us a lot, and I appreciate their support.
Online, you can't see the fact that I'm in a wheelchair. You can't see the fact that I'm using an adaptive controller. All you see is another avatar on the game, playing, doing exactly the same thing you're doing. Now, this adaptive controller definitely levels the field.
So I'm super proud of what we achieved, but on the other hand, we should have been doing this already. So I just want people to know that we're not just going to be one and done here. This is the beginning of a journey, and it's just the start.
Legend behavior, locked in. Y'all know what time it is. Locked in. Play. I make the rules, rack up the jewels, make it look smooth. You know how I do. Running this kingdom, wish you could be. Better look up, cause that's where you see it. Give me the crown now. Cause I own the throne now. I hold the scroll now. I'm in control now. Ruling the game. Locked in. I'm ruling the game. Always locked in.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another season of our Logitech G Adaptive Esports tournaments featuring Rocket League. Man, that trailer just got me so hyped. Hi, my name is Glitter Explosion. I'm going to be your host here for this whole event, and we're in a studio this time around. Frank, I'm going to be joined by Frank here with me the entire time. You're stuck with me. There's nothing you can do about it.
I know. I'm contractually obligated to sit here and deal with you, but if I'm being honest, I'm very excited, and we're happy to be here in the live studio, of course, to be able to bring you all of this exciting Rocket League action.
Yeah, okay, now if you guys weren't here last season, we're going to walk you through how all of this works. And we're going to have 4 qualifiers when it comes to our events, 1 LCQ, and then of course our grand finals. So it's going to be a lot of Rocket League action here. And then as far as the format goes, it will be obviously Rocket League 2v2 with a single elimination bracket and some standard game rules. But we did add a 7-goal limit this time around, Frank, and I'm actually really excited for that addition.
Yeah, I think it's going to lead to a lot of exciting games because you can have one team kind of just hanging on 6 goals, and it's kind of a will they, won't they scenario. It gives the other team an opportunity to catch up, and yeah, I'm excited to see how that one plays out.
It's definitely going to make these games super competitive. And then, of course, we're going to be doing a best of 3 all the way up until the finals of each event, and then the finals will be a best of 5 matches. But they're not just playing for pride here, all right? We've got prizing, and we have more of it this time around. $1,400 every single qualifier and LCQ going home to first place, second taking home $900, and then third and fourth at $500 and $200 respectively. That is a lot of cash on the line.
Yeah, I think it's every qualifier and the LCQ has a $3,000, I believe, total prize pool on the line, and then of course we elevate that for the grand final. But you know, there's some other additions that we've added into the mix for AET this year as well.
And they're really cool additions because speaking of that, this is the very first one. Now, right at the end of the show, everybody in chat can come participate in a community game night. This time it's going to be featuring Fall Guys. You guys can head on over to aet.gg to get yourselves applied and signed up to participate. Everything will kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern. But that's not all right? That's just what you can play. Now here's what you can win. All you have to do is type !AET in chat to get yourself entered into this giveaway for all of this really cool Logitech G Pro sweet stuff! Rules to view those terms and conditions. I mean, this is some nice gear, Frank.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining in chat right now. You're going to be thankful you tuned in, and you've got an opportunity to not only watch some amazing Rocket League with all our fantastic players, but you can also win stuff as well. I mean, what more could you want out of an evening with us?
The only last thing you could possibly want is to find out how you can join, okay? And that's going to be over at aet.gg. You can head there to find out not only more information, but get yourself signed up for any of our next qualifiers. And then specifically, if you'd like to help support our amazing partners who are helping us put on this event, you can head on over to aet.gg/donate and donate to any of their amazing causes. Whew, I'm excited that we are working with them, but I'm also excited to start talking about these games. So let's take a look at the bracket and see what we have in store. We're going to be kicking things off with the bottom side of this bracket, and we see so many returning faces here, Frank. I love that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see, you know, how these players have elevated their game from that previous season. And yeah, like you mentioned, some of those familiar names, and starting on that bottom side, definitely going to look towards some of those returning names to really kind of show us the work they've been putting in that off season.
Man, there's going to be some intense gameplay for sure. Obviously, the first qualifier out of the gate, probably going to be the opportunity for a lot of these players to start feeling things out, kind of assess the level of competition that they're going to be going up against this time around, and then nail down a solid gameplay. If they don't do so hot right out the gate.
Yeah, I think there's some time for adjustments to be made, like you said, kind of scouting your opponents. But one thing I will say, if you're not signed up yet, you know, there's 4 main qualifiers. There is that LCQ, but there are points on the line as well. So the sooner you get in on this action, the better. So if you're even hesitant, if you're towing that line a little bit, I would say get involved and sign up because, you know, I don't think you're going to regret it.
Yeah, don't toe the line. Get yourself signed up and join us because this is super, super cool. And speaking of joining us, our games are ready to go. The people who have already joined us are ready to play. So I'm going to pass it off to you and Samail to cover all of our amazing Rocket League action.
Well, thank you, Lauren. And Samail, are you ready to get into this one?
No doubt. I thought she was going to say speaking is super cool, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll take it. I feel that inside. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited to join y'all here for the first time myself on the broadcast. Excited about 2v2. I love 2v2, Frank. I don't know about you, but that for me that's the game type I've played the most in Rocket League. So I'm really excited. It's been a while since I did 2v2.
Yeah, 2v2 is kind of the sweet spot for me as well, but I will say, kind of to go back to the format that we talked about, I'm excited to see how this 7-goal limit comes into play here, because I mean, that's something, you don't see much 2v2 anymore, but the 7-goal limit is kind of unique in and of itself. So I'm hoping that's going to provide us with some exciting matches as well.
Yeah, like you said, maybe that's a situation that isn't always as exciting, but there is I think, something on the line in that moment. The players know, well, the game's just going to be over if another goal is scored again. So that's definitely an interesting facet of things. And I think it also stops potential bloodbaths as well in front of us too. So it's a good mix of things, but I think it's a nice addition, and I think the players will like it as well.
I'm just excited that, maybe we get that 6-6 goal down to the wire, next goal wins.
Now that would be
type
good.
of exciting action. That's something that, is kind of, you see it in some other games where, you kind of have that, but here, since that's kind of a hard line being set in the sand, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but it looks like we are getting right into this one. We are ready to go, a good 50-50 off that kickoff. It looks like blue team will be in possession first.
Yeah, blue team starting off good. And hey, I thought it was maybe a differential with the 7 goals, so we could be 6-6, and now you've got a whole nother thing there, so I hadn't even considered that, Frank, so I'm excited to see if we can get that moment. We will see, but we've got already some offense on our hands from the blue side, and remember, it's 2v2, so there's just one back. That's a shot on net with just one defender in net, and it's a shot in. First goal goes to Handicapped and Fear the Nub.
Yeah, really nice wrap back around by Handicap there to secure that one, and some pretty aggressive, relentless offense early on by that duo. We'll have to see if Watch Your Step can answer back here, but it looks like it's going to be our blue team again winning that 50-50. Can they find something here? A nice aerial connects, but going to be just wide into that top left corner. This is an opportunity for Watch Your Step to get on the offensive, but Nubby one-handed trying to divert this one away.
And that's a dangerous play coming back along your own net, but it works out there. They're able to keep it into the safe area of the field, but only for a moment. Now as we're back down the other way, the ball bouncing there as there's a miss in the corner, but that's going to leave an opportunity for blue out center. Ball fed out, and a rebound there as well. Blue will keep possession of the ball. They've done a really good job of that so far, maintaining possession, and have had the majority of the scoring chances.
Yeah, nice little recovery as well by Aquadio. Slight fumble in that corner, but makes the best out of the situation. But this one is going to find the net. Handicapped yet again. Able to secure the second goal for the blue team here. And you see nice just little angle off that wall, off the corner. And that one's going to connect.
Yeah, catching the defender off guard there, using the arena to perfection. Not sure if he planned it that way, but he may tell you that he did anyway. And that was a fabulous... He busted out the protractor for that and managed to get that.
Only counts if he called the backboard off that one with the angles he played, but a nice shot regardless. But we've got the orange team here starting to get a little bit more aggressive. It's an open net. Can he cut back on this one? It's going to hang out in front, and a nice play by Handicap to clear that ball.
Yeah, and that's really the first play that we've seen down on the blue side as far as scoring chances from orange, but now we're back down the other way. Look at that chip coming up from Handicapped, gets it past the defender. Good patient play right there after he'd beaten one. Only one more to beat. Makes him look silly. It's 3-0.
Yeah, some really nice control in that net, in that red zone. So good perseverance there out of Handicapped, and that secures him the hat trick before we even hit the halfway mark here in our first game of the semifinal. Another good start there from the orange side, but can they have the follow through? That one's just going to go high above that player. The bump in the back will cause a little bit of a redirect, should allow Watch Your Step to get back on D. Here's Aquadios trying to secure that clear, but it's going to be Nubby one-handed with that aerial, tries to center that one up for his teammate. Handicapped is there to secure that ball, but unable to develop anything off of that play. So here's a chance for Watch Your Step yet again, but a great recovery from Nubby, able to get a clear. Handicapped now trying to find the ball. Two members from Watch Your Step have him surrounded, however, so stairs are hard. Gonna get that clear and get the ball past Nubby one-handed. Can they find a goal here off this offensive play?
Good physical back check there from Nubby one-handed. Didn't have any boost, but he had speed. And now there's going to be a play downfield the other way. It's the 4th goal here for the blue side. It's another for handicapped, and this time it's on transition. Made a nice play on the defensive side, back downfield, and we are starting to see the blue side run away with this contest. We may see that 7 before we know it. That's just halftime, basically, Frank, and we've already seen 4 goals from the blue.
Yeah, I will say Watch Your Step has been seeing these improvements overall. They're getting more aggressive on those offensive plays, but it seems like the blue squad just has some of those answers for those looks, especially in those transition moments across that midfield. Like you mentioned, we're approaching that 7-goal limit. If not, then we'll hit the 2-minute time limit. Handicapped and Nubby try to find something here, but it's going to be Stairs Are Hard with a nice little clear, but a great speed back from Nubby is going to intercept that one, make it difficult for Watch Your Step to get anything going on offense. But here's another play here. Aquadios tries to get that one past the defender, is unable to do so, and kind of like what we saw previously, just in those transitions, really handicapped out in front just with his reaction times to that ball. But their Stairs Are Hard. Gonna get Watch Your Step on the board.
And you mentioned transition. One thing we saw from the orange side there was they got back on defense in time to stop the transitional attack from blue, and instead they're back downfield. Ping pong in their favor this go around. They get on the board for the first time here in game number 1, and that is absolutely huge, even if they don't win this game here. Obviously getting on the board big for their spirits, and now they can see if they can get some momentum off of that. We do see the ball in the corner deep in blue side. Another chance here coming for the orange team out front. There's a play made, but instead we're going back down the other way. It's a 2-0 breakaway, but the feed not there as the player was out ready waiting in front. Neither team able to capitalize on a couple of chances on each side.
Yeah, Watch Your Step just really making solid improvements kind of moment after moment in this game. And like you mentioned, sometimes it only takes one to kind of instill that confidence and get the ball rolling, no pun intended, for your team. And here's Stairs trying to set up Aquadios. Unfortunately, Nubby going to be able to dribble this one away. Shot on goal is dead at center. And Handicap and Fear the Nub going to extend this lead to 4 yet again.
And that was good control from Orange down the other way, but one thing you got to watch out for is not getting too extended. You know that they want goals. They just got the 1. They're looking to come back, so you expect that they're going to let loose and push up, but at the same time, you've got to respect the defensive side of the ball. And unfortunately for them, the 4-goal lead restored here for the blue team, and that may be all she wrote in game 1 if Orange can't pull a miracle comeback here. But instead, the ball downfield, back in Orange's end. It's in front of the box, but one thing Blue knows is they don't need another goal. They're going to play it nice and cool and collected here in the final 30.
Yeah, great really awareness from Handicap and Fear the Nub, knowing kind of in these final moments, they just need to clear that. If they find a goal, all the better for them, but really just playing to their strengths, playing to the clock right now, trying to get this 1 game up over Watch Your Step.
And I've appreciated the control that we've seen from Handicap specifically. He has got a good feed there. Obviously, we saw what he can do with the goals as well, so clearly leading his team, leading this effort. And when you've got 2s, obviously, if anyone is used to watching a lot of 3s, you'll immediately notice the space on the field. There's a lot more space to make plays, and we are seeing that right now as Handicap consistently looking to make feeds out center for his teammate and make individual plays as well. So this has been a good game number 1 win here for the blue side. And we'll see if they can get the quick 2-0 as these best of 3s. Before you know it, Frank, they can be over in a hurry.
Yeah, especially with that 7-goal limit, right? We could see some really expedited matches depending, but I will say I think Watch Your Step did a fantastic job just kind of responding. I think, Handicap and Fear the Nub definitely had that coordination down, especially in their rotations, like you had mentioned. Them kind of getting back on defense, knowing when it was time to attack on offense, just seemed a little bit more dialed in than Watch Your Step, but towards that midway point, I think, they were starting to go toe-to-toe a little bit more.
No doubt, no doubt. And just for clarification, Frank, because I think I might not even have got that, is that across the entire match for the 7-goal limit as well? To where the previous game 1 goals come in too, or is that just per game?
Per game. So essentially,
okay.
If Handicapped and Fear the Nub went up 7-0 right now, then they would win this game. But Okay,
yeah.
So it's within the context of every kind of 5 minutes on the clock, if that makes it easier to kind of grasp and understand there. So yeah,
no doubt. Hey, you got to simplify it for me, Frank. You know that.
It's all good. it's a new rule, right? So it'll probably take a little bit of time, but oh my gosh, there is handicapped off the rip yet again from downtown. Able to fire that one back in the orange side net to go up 1-0 early on here.
Handicap showing he could score in different ways. That's another thing that doesn't take long in this game, just like game one, is the blue side getting on the board. And again, who else? It's Handicapped leading the charge. So that's a name to look out for, no doubt about it, as we play these. Because, of course, remember, we've got more tournaments, like y'all said, last chance qualifier. I think we can expect that Handicapped, this is not going to be the last time that we see him. But I don't want to write off Watch Your Step yet, but they got to watch their step because, again, it's Handicapped, and he is just crashing the box, getting it done any way he can.
Yeah, they're going to have to start watching their net next because Handicapped is there in your face. Some great offensive plays coming out from them. And yeah, like you mentioned, definitely kind of setting the tone here for AET in this season. And gameplay definitely has been elevated. Handicapped, kind of the standout player right now. Nubby one-handed, going to fire that one across the front of the net. Looks like teammate trying to set him back up, and Orange squad right now just looking for a clear, looking for some of that breathing room so they can get that offense started. We saw in game number one. For the time being, there'll be a battle in the midfield. Handicap gonna wrap back around onto this one. Can his teammate secure that one? Maybe he'll share the love a little bit here in game number two, but it's a great save from Stairs Are Hard.
Oh, that is just absolutely massive. Goal line save from the orange side. We saw that big differential in the first game. They're trying to keep it close, but unfortunately, not if Handicap has anything to say for it. Yet again, he comes out. I think that's the hat trick again, back-to-back in these games. And you said setting the tone. He's doing a whole lot more than that. He is making it look easy.
I will say, you know, if Watch Your Step can start to adjust here, maybe look to shut down Handicap, get a little bit physical with them, start getting some of those bumps and demos out on that pitch, it might throw them off a little bit to where Watch Your Step can start to get their offense rolling yet again. There's a nice little tap going to come through from Stairs Are Hard off the side wall, unable to connect on the aerial. A nice rotation here for him to get back, tries to protect that net from Handicap because you know he's coming. Nice little clear across that goal. It's going to be played off the wall, high flying, and nice little touch from Watch Your Step, just barely off target. A great shot attempt there.
Oh, that was such a good opportunity there out front. Unfortunately for Watch Your Step, no one there to follow. They do get a big demo, though. You mentioned physical play earlier. I think that's a big opportunity for Watch Your Step to get back in this series. If they can start bumping, start getting demos, twos affords you that as well, because the play sometimes is going to be a little slower, so you might see players waiting back. But I think for Watch Your Step, they're certainly still in this series. It's just a matter of finding that momentum like we talked about and playing a little less defense, as it's been tough. Every time they come back out of the zone, they've struggled to get back, and there's another goal off the hands of that transition.
Yeah, it really looks like blue team just on those transitions, like you said, a little bit more refined, a little bit more fine-tuned, and them kind of just knowing where they want to be on that pitch. And, you know, Aqua Dios and Stairs Are Hard, maybe just a little hesitant in some of those transitions, and that's giving Handicapped and Fear the Nub some of these openings. But there's a nice clear from Stairs Are Hard. Can Aqua Dios have the follow-up? Shot was on target. It's going to be intercepted by Nubby one-handing. A great steal back, however. Floated out in front of the net. Can this one have the speed? Going to be a little bit slow off that touch, so that'll give Handicapped an opportunity for the clear.
We're seeing the looks for Watch Your Step. They definitely have the right thing in mind when they're going for these plays. They're getting rebounds out front, but they're just not cashing in when they need to. So I think this is still a situation, even though time running short here, big goal differential, still a chance for them to get back in, but you're going to expect that they're going to crash the net as much as possible right now, which of course could lead to mistakes. But at this point, they're going to have to do anything they can, and it all starts with that first touch. They've struggled to get out of their zone, and that first touch in twos is super important to make sure you keep control of the ball.
Yeah, and it is those little things, right, from Watch Your Step. They've obviously battled through the bracket, made it this far, and then they'll have the opportunity to, of course, review some of that footage and clean some of those things up. It's still possible, though, with 1:20 left to play. Definitely start to rack up these goals. They could be right back in this one, but it's Handicapped going for the flashy aerial play. Has Nubby behind him for the follow-up, but going to be just wide, and that'll be possession in favor of Watch Your Step, but a great midfield contest. We'll keep this one neutral for now. Orange team shot right above the crossbar from Aquadios, a heartbreak goal just outside. Another one going just wide right. Stairs are hard, tries to get that one re-centered, but it looks like the play will end there, and that's gotta be frustrating for the Orange team.
Yeah, it's tough, that decision of when to stay, when to go as the second man in twos. You know if you make the wrong choice, it's going to end up in the back of your net. Unfortunately for Watch Your Step, that's the result anyway. 5-0 here for Blue. They're running away with it. Just 2 away from ending this even before the timer. But either way, it looks like they may be moving forward into our finals as they've been dominant on the offensive side of the ball, and they have really made it tough on Watch Your Step, struggling just to get out of their own end, which has been the definition of this first series.
Yeah, Watch Your Step will kind of get on the offensive a little bit, but it's definitely more short-lived than Handicapped and Fear the Nub, who have really been in control of the pace of this match, and I think that's catching Watch Your Step just off guard a little bit. 20 seconds left to play. That one's going to cruise right on by the front of the orange side. But looks like Handicapped and Fear the Nub not done on offense just yet. Looks like they're looking for one more before this one closes out. 10 seconds left to play. Can Watch Your Step get one on the board before regulation has ended? Looks like it's going to be tough for them. So once that ball touches that pitch, it'll be Handicapped and Fear the Nub moving on to the grand final.
Yeah, and this is a good look to this team right here, especially Handicapped. Certainly impressed in that first series. 4 goals here. Had at least that many in the first game as they were constantly firing it on net, and it was really just a shooting gallery throughout the first 2 and only 2 of that series. And with twos, it really does come down to control, and it all comes down to that first touch like I mentioned, Frank, and I was really impressed with how the Blues side kept control of the ball when they had space and made something happen right after.
Yeah, going to be interesting, of course. That was just, one half of our semifinal. I'm excited to see the other side play out and see who will be taking on Handicapped and Fear the Nub in that grand final. So I'm going to bring Lauren back in. Lauren, what do you think of that matchup?
Listen, I had said that today was going to start off with a bang, and I knew it. That was a phenomenal performance from Handicapped and Fear the Nub. I think that they've set themselves up really, really well for the finals. I mean, talk about confidence. They've made their way through the bracket very, very solidly, so I'm excited to see who they end up going up against now, because like you said, semifinals 2 are right around the corner, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't let anyone tell you there are things we cannot change. We've done hard things before. We'll face hard things again, but we're doing it. Thousands of people will live simply because a whole bunch of people in here keep making medicine better. So if anyone ever tells you there's no other way, don't listen. We find a way. Mount Sinai.
Welcome back to the Logitech G Adaptive Esports Tournament featuring Rocket League. Now, if you missed it, we just wrapped up our first semifinals match of the day, and we are now looking forward to our second and last semifinals match of the day to make sure we can figure out who's going to be playing in the grand finals. As you can see down there at the bottom of the bracket, it's going to be Handicapped and Fear the Nub that make their way through to our grand finals, with Watch Your Step not out yet, actually going down into that third, fourth playoff match, and then we're going to be setting our sights on the top half of this bracket now, Frank.
Yeah, excited to see this one play out as well. Again, some familiar names there, but if it's anything like that first semifinal we just watched, I'm sure it'll be full of surprises, because I definitely didn't expect such a dominant performance early on from Handicapped and Fear the Nub, but that is, of course, what we got, and we'll have to see what this second semifinal has in store for us.
I mean, it's going to be a good one because we're in the semifinals. That's just how it has to be. And they're going to have to keep up with who's currently waiting for them in the grand finals, because our semifinals 2 match is ready to go. I'm going to pass it back off over to you and Samael.
Samael, are you ready to get back into this one? We've got our second semifinal lined up. Do you think it's going to be like the first, a dominant performance, or is this one going to be a little closer, a little more back and forth?
Well, I mean, for like one of the teams and for me, the viewers, everybody, I hope it's closer than that, you know, but at the same time, that's twos sometimes. You know how many times I've played twos and just absolutely got demolished out there. So, I mean, there's a lot of room to work with, and if there's a team on the field with good control, good skill, like we saw from the blue side in the first series, well, you're going to see a lot of goals on the board.
Yep, and here we go, getting right into this one. Again, a best of 3 in our semifinal. The grand final will be a best of 5, and there's Michael going for some aerial control. Going to be stolen away by the Dexterity Bandits. Back to a reset here, but here's Void Pro trying to make a play on that ball. Going to get it past one defender. Can he fly it by 2? He's going to float it right over the top, and it's Dexterity Bandits on the board first.
Yeah, the orange side getting us started off first here. That's a different story than the first series, so good. I like you know, changes in my life, and I think orange is feeling pretty good about that. I talked about first touch, talked about chipping the ball up. That's exactly what we saw there, and I really like that. Really, both of these teams, I think, have some pretty good control, so we've got a good match in front of us so far. And the first one going to orange. They may get another. It's a squibbler right off. He gets the pinch, does Void Pro on net, and it's in.
Yeah, nice little assist coming through here too, and just, you know, comparing this to our first semifinal, the speed at which these two teams are going at it is definitely accelerated here. And like you also mentioned, some of that aerial control coming through. So I think this one is going to be exciting, but right now it's Dexterity Bandits out and ahead by 2. Can Rolly carry? Make an adjustment here. No, a breakaway is going to be saved by Michael, however. So that play from Soul will be slowed down. Now he needs to transition back onto defense. Going to try to throw Michael off, pop that one up. His teammates coming through, going to throw that one off the backboard. But a nice clear from the Dexterity Bandits.
Good rotation there from Blue, as they both recognize the chance, but then also recognizing when to get back on defense. That's one thing that we saw really plagued Watch Your Step in the previous series, but both teams really smart with the rotations here. Usually got someone back, and that means it's going to take more than one chance to score, and we will see if we can get any more goals here as play slows down. Roland Carey can't get that first touch, and is going to allow Soul to step up. Now he's got a one-on-one opportunity. Can he beat the last defender? Can't, but there's Void Pro up as well, challenging. I really like that from both teams as well, Frank. We're seeing a lot of crashing the net, not necessarily the hesitancy that we saw in the first series. And if you're going to score goals, you got to put it on net.
Yeah, you know, Michael and Rolling Carey maybe a little bit slower off those transitions because Dexterity Bandits are out and ahead by 2, but definitely the speed at which they're getting back and just trying to get those saves definitely feels like they're in the right mindset to go up, make this one close. Another great save going to be diverted here. Dexterity Bandits now trying to get back on offense. Rolling Carey going to stop on a dime, but it's going to be stopped by Michael in front of the net. So a great save out of the blue team.
Yeah, and really good job of closing down the lanes as we saw both players on the blue side. Perfect positioning there to keep the ball in the safe spot of the field. They're able to chip it to the corner and then get downfield themselves. They've got a 2-on-1 here for just a moment as Void into the corner. Doesn't keep control, though. This is an opportunity. Oh, Michael just out of reach as his boost tank was depleted. Can't catch up and get the goal.
Now we'll see Dexterity Bandits switching to the offensive, and it's Solitude again. with the goal, gonna make this one 3-0 in what was a beautiful play from Michael, trying to go from that pinch, but Dexterity Bandits, that orange team, immediately taking that opportunity to extend the lead. Really nice heads-up play at a Solitude there.
No doubt about it, and you often see that in twos where one player makes a play down on the offensive end, but he's got to get back, and now you've got time. If you're the opponent, that's exactly what we saw from Solitude. He's done a real good job when he's got time and space of chipping the ball up and over the defense. There's another goal coming from the orange side, and it's time at mid here. The errant clear, it's a double commit as well. Void Pro absolutely buries it. Those sorts of doubles in twos can't happen. Obviously, that's your whole team.
Yeah, that's just Void, I think, really seeing an opportunity and not hesitating to make that play happen. Sees a brief window there where the two members of the blue squad, just slightly out of position, weren't able to adjust to that bullet he sent at the net, and that allows them to extend that lead 4-0 here. So we're just under 2 minutes left to play. It's going to be Rolling Carry in the corner with the knockup. Michael not going to be able to reach. Can Rolling Carry get the recovery to keep this play alive? Void Pro going to be making an attempt at it, but it's Solitude coming through with the pass over. The pop up will go wide. Orange team will have to find a reset here. Blue team desperately looking for this clear. Looks like Michael's going to wrap back around in that midfield. Tries to get it over Solitude, but it's going to be a clash right in front of the orange net. This play looks like it's going to reset unless Michael can make something happen there. It's going to fly right past that one. Rolling Carry will go under. And it's a scramble here in the orange corner of the pitch. There's Michael, tries to get the pinch through, but it's almost passed back into Solitude's hands, and he will finally get that clear. Maybe even more than a clear, but thankfully Michael is there for the blue squad to get the save.
Oh, I don't even know how he got back on that. Looked like he was going to be a little wide with his rotation, but Michael getting over just in time may not matter, but that's got to feel good at least, keeping that ball out, making a big save. One thing they've struggled, though, with is not necessarily defense as much. It's really the offensive side, struggling to get chances, struggling to get that first goal on board. This is a good opportunity here for Michael, though, if he can get the turn on this. Oh, beats Void as well with the slow play and the follow as well. Crashing the net is Rolling Carry. They are on the board.
Yeah, and sometimes it only takes one to get things firing on all cylinders, get your team in that groove. So, you know, we'll have to see if they can mount the comeback in 37 seconds. It's a big ask, but it's definitely going to be a confidence boost for the rest of this series. Great play out of the blue team. So here we have off that kickoff. It's going to be blue team trying to retreat here, get their bearings just a bit, and get this offense going. Here's Michael looking for the pass, looking for the fake. It's going to go wide. Solitude will get that clear. It's going to be passed over, passed down now into the blue side of the field. Let's see if Michael can make something happen here again. Looks like he's got his teammate trying to get the follow of him. Michael will connect, cutting that lead down to 2 now with 12 seconds left to play.
Woo, Michael right there taking it the whole way downfield. Didn't think he had enough boost in the tank, but pulls off the aerial over both defenders who were both waiting back. Don't look now. There's a chance here for Blue. They got to cheat up on this kickoff just to have an opportunity. They do that, but it gets by Rolling Carry. Unfortunately for him, they're going to play back in their end, and that may just do it here. Despite the last-minute effort here from the blue side, we are going to see Dexterity Bandits take this game number 1. They came out with a big lead and felt comfortable the rest of the way, even though it got closer than maybe they expected in the end.
Yeah, really thanks to that 4-0 lead they built up, because blue team was starting to feel it a little bit there. They were getting into that groove, getting things in motion, and got a little dicey near that 12-second mark. There was still an opportunity off that kickoff, though. It just didn't go towards that blue side. They couldn't get anything started, so ends up with orange team taking that first in our best of 3, but we're right back onto the pitch here. Dexterity Bandits up 1 in the series, but it looks like the blue team is trying to answer back, but it's Solitude right off the rip. 9-second goal for the Dexterity Bandits.
It's a rerun of game 1 here. Solitude starting off the scoring here for Orange, exactly what we saw in game number 1. And that's tough when you're trying to get back in this game, back in this series here for the blue side. They were definitely hoping to get that early lead. They have still yet to play with the lead in this series, and it's really tough always trying to come from behind. But Solitude has done a good job of setting the tone early. He does there. And again, gets Dexterity Bandits on their way as they've got that first goal. They may just be... Oh, I was watching. Oh, man, I gotta say, he's taking the words. Michael, when he gets the ball, Frank, I kind of just stopped for a second because he's able to make some plays. So I'm always kind of watching. I'd really like to see some good follow from Roland Carey. They're still in this.
Yeah, I've been holding my breath too because Michael is going for some crazy aerial plays here, trying to get that ball up. And then Roland Carey has been right there trying to secure those follow-ups. It just hasn't quite aligned yet for him. But I was going to mention, if you're the Dexterity Bandits, Solitude does a great job of halting some of that momentum that the blue team had gathered for themselves in the final moments of that first game. So Dexterity Bandits definitely setting themselves up well here, making sure that they're going to have the blue team work for it if they're going to force this game 3 of the series. And here's the man of the hour, Solitude, trying to make a play, getting it over Michael, but Michael with a great backflip is going to pop that one up, reset it at the 50-yard marker, and he might even convert this into a goal himself, but it's a great save from Solitude.
Good look at center there from Michael. Also a big save from him a moment ago to take the ball away and get control at mid. We're seeing that consistently from the blue side. They're just yet to get the goal that they need here, but they're keeping it close, which you love to see. Certainly competitive throughout. And it's just a matter of time, it feels like, before they get that offensive chance to get that first goal. Right now, they've got to get out of their end. A lot of pressure here from Dexterity. That ball will go wide, though, as Roland Carey has an opportunity, but Solitude steps up, keeps this play going. One thing we've seen from Solitude, he has consistently attempted to make plays no matter where he is on the field.
Yeah, and if you're Void Pro, you're kind of happy just sitting back defending the net, and you're saying, hey, Solitude, you go do your thing. He's been keeping possession for this orange team for the majority of this game number 2, but Roland Carey with an attempt is going to go right off of the post. A great shot attempt for him. Can his teammate Michael get back to stop this offensive play now from the Dexterity Bandits? It's going to go off the wall, and he will be there in time, but there's Solitude yet again, trying to get that ball centered for his teammate. A slight opportunity for the blue team here if they can get a touch, but no. Void Pro on a great rotation, trying to set up Solitude now. It's off the backboard. It's towards the net, and it's in. Void Pro now getting on the board.
There was an initial miscue there in front of the net. That gave Solitude a lot of time, and he finds Void Pro out center. Good feed off the back wall, taking advantage of a miscue and making something happen. Again, we see Dexterity Bandits push forward with this lead, and that is such a tough spot for blue to be in, consistently trying to play from behind. They're there yet again. This is the opportunity. They can't let the clock dwindle down. Got to really start pulling out all the stops right now, and I expect to see that from Michael, who has made some plays already. Got a good push here, wins it over top the final defender. Looking for Rolling to follow. Unfortunately, just a little too far behind.
Yeah, it's you can see the plays developing, right, for the blue team. It's right there, but just slightly off one way or another. They're definitely making things difficult for the Dexterity Bandits here in game number 2, keeping this one close. If Michael Dott and Roland Carey are able to mount a similar comeback that they did in game number 1, we might even see an overtime here, but it's going to be Solitude with the aerial pickup and the goal.
Yeah, and this is just his play right now. The bread and butter, the chip up over the defense. No one back there for the final shot. And this is what Solitude has shown he is able to do consistently. When he has time, when he has space, he will be taking that ball to the air. And you better be ready to follow. If not, it's going to the back of your net. We see it yet again from Solitude. We've seen these players tonight already in twos, of course. Oh, I gotta switch gears here. I'm not. I was trying to talk about orange.
Game's not over yet.
No, not yet. And this is Roland Carey getting involved in the play. You love to see this, taking a chance, even though Michael wasn't even rotated out yet. He knows he's got to do something. You love to see that desperation on the field.
Yeah, do or die time, and it comes through in the clutch for the blue squad, getting on the board, just needing 2 goals now to tie it up. We'll see how Void Pro and Solitude respond. Going to be Solitude with a decent little clear here off of that side wall. Michael, however, gets the intercept. Ball in the orange corner of that pitch, trying to make a play. Blue team going to be bumping bumpers there, and that's going to reset their offense. An opportunity for the Dexterity Bandits to regain on what was a great offensive play from the blue team. Michael trying to center this one up off the midfield line, but it's Solitude again with that saving grace, stopping that great play from Michael.
Yeah, and Michael, he is out here looking to make plays. A powerful shot, big save, like you said, coming from Solitude, as he's done it on defense and offense in this series. But don't count Blue out, like you said before. They have really been pushing after getting that goal. Here's Michael, got to look up and over. Void, it is in. We are down within one, as the blue side is not out just yet.
No, a great little finger roll from Michael, really, right over the defender. He's seen Solitude make those saves before, and he was ready for it that time. A great play. Gonna bring this one within one, and it could all be determined here off of this kickoff. It's a nice neutral. Gonna be in favor of Michael. Ball in the corner now, however. It's Void Pro trying to get this one reset, stop all this forward momentum from the blue team, and now it's Rolling Carry on the hunt into the opposite corner, trying to get this ball centered, and we've got 10 seconds left on the clock. The shot is up, it is floating into the net, and it is good.
Oh, 6 seconds to go. The clear, not enough. Michael with the shot, double commit, and it is in. Michael just smothering the defense of Dexterity Bandits right now. I was looking away. It was 3-0. I'm trying to talk about Dexterity, all they're doing. Next thing you know, blue side said, nah, not just yet. They've got it tied somehow, some way, and they are putting on the pressure right now. But oh, don't look. Woo, I thought Solitude was going to keep that up, but we're going to OT.
Yep, overtime. Here we are. Reset at threes. Next goal will take this one. Dexterity Bandits take it. They'll be moving on to the grand finals. If Michael Dott and Rolling Carry take it here, we'll see a game number 3 in this series, but it's Solitude with the demo onto Michael, the key player being taken out. Void Pro, however, needs to get that save. It's centered up. And there's Michael with a good save, resetting this one to the 50-yard line. Michael is up. This one's going to be off the backboard and touched by the orange team, set to the other way. Blue team needs to recover. The touch from Void Pro is going to go wide. Can he bring this one back? 40 seconds now into overtime. Again, next team that scores a goal is going to take this one, potentially punching Dexterity Bandits' ticket to the grand finals. Void Pro now letting Solitude hang back, get those saves that he's been doing such a good job of all game. This ball is back to that 50-yard line. Michael now looking for the touch, looking to get it over Solitude, but that one's going to go wide left. Michael now chasing this one back around. The wrap is there, but so is Solitude. Tries to get this one cleared. 2 members of the blue team back. Michael up yet again. Void Pro! It's going to go over the top, and it's going to be blue team forcing game number 3.
Ooh, boy. Michael, what can't you do? Just when it looks like the blue side are going down into the 3rd place match, we are going to the 3rd game of this match as Michael put his team on his back. And that's the kind of response needed when you're not only down in the series, but you're down 0-3 in this game. And so I was pretty close to writing them off. You go down 4-0 in Rocket League, you're pretty much done. And Michael just said no.
He said, I disagree. And he put on that amazing performance. I was just going to say, that first semifinal we watched, clearly just the hors d'oeuvre, because we are getting geared up for the main course here. And I don't know if I'm going to have room by the time we get to the grand finals if these games keep going this way.
Well, that's okay. We can get Lauren in here if we need to, Frank. I'm sure that we'll work it out. Don't worry. If you fall out on us, don't worry.
Sounds
but hey,
good.
stick with us. This is game 3. This is going to decide who's going on to the grand finals, which is just 1 match away. So I have a feeling you're going to make it, Frank.
All right. If you believe in me, then I believe in me. Let's do it.
I believe.
Game number 3 in this best of 3 series, going down to the wire. Michael picking up right where he left off with possession of this one, floating it out in front of the net, but that one's going to be cleared away by the Dexterity Bandits. We'll have to see, however, the offense from the blue team isn't done just yet. This one's going to slow down in the corner, and Solitude's looking to make a move. This one's going to be 50-50 straight up. The reset here, Michael is in the air, and that could spell danger for the Dexterity Bandits. However, that one's going to go off the backboard. Rolling Carry is there to provide that support, keep the offense alive. Ball back in the hands of Michael. Gets it past one defender. Tries to get it up in the air to set himself up for that one. Just going to be tough to play with that Dexterity Bandits defense. Rolling Carry. Shot going to go just high off that crossbar as well. Michael now back at it. trying to set Carey up yet again. It's going to be slowed down in the corner. Solitude leaving the home base to try to get some boost and get this ball cleared for the orange team. Finally managing to do so, but it's right back in the hands of enemy number 1. Michael is now on the hunt. Tries to get this one re-centered above net. It's rolling Carey there to provide something. No, great knockdown from Solitude. Gonna make Michael rethink his position on that one. A great 50-50 goes by the way of Solitude, but it's Michael back on that recovery, and it's an empty net for the orange team. Can he get it? Oh, right off the top crossbar, but wait, rolling Carey there for the touch, but Solitude is there for the defend.
Oh, not like this. Not like this. That's all I could feel. And, you know, I could tell with your commentary, Frank, you can feel this pressure from Blue. Just feels like they're going to get a goal at any moment. I can't believe we played almost full 2 minutes in the orange side, and still we're sitting 0-0.
I was going to say, I'm thankful the camera's not on me, because you see me wincing and tensing with every moment, every touch, and every possession, because, yeah, this one is a nail-biter. Like you said, 2 minutes played, no goals scored. Both of these teams just absolutely going at it.
Yeah, and this has been an impressive response here from the blue side, not just getting that comeback and pushing to game 3, but also setting the tone in game number 3. We have not seen any pressure from Orange, which has been a stark contrast to the first game and then the first half of the second game. So really, Michael has really figured some things out, I think, and also we're seeing that respect from Dexterity Bandits. They understand that this is a team that certainly should be respected, and they know now they've got to wait back and play defense. They're doing just that. They're playing a whole lot of defense. There's another shot coming through from Michael, a save from Solitude, and it is a continued merry-go-round from the blue side as they are in and out of the zone, right back in with possession.
Yeah, a nice little demo too going to come through from Carey, but unfortunately, blue side not able to develop much off of that one. But yeah, a stark contrast to what we saw in game number 1. Essentially, the Dexterity Bandits being forced to respect Michael and Carey at this point in time. Another shot going to be cleared here by the orange team, and it's Solitude trying to get that offense started. We haven't really seen much out of him in this matchup because, like you said, everything has been going the way of the blue squad. It is them being in possession of this ball for almost the majority of the match. However, they're just unable to find the net, but that has not stopped Michael yet. No boost, trying to set it up across, not going to be there in time. So Carey going to be forced to go back here. Solitude again. I love that little bump, little physical play, get him off balance, slow him down just enough that they can make that recovery. Here's Michael trying to get it up over 1, and it's in over 2. It's Michael and rolling Carey on the board first.
What a flick, what control from Michael over both defenders who were there. They were ready for the shot, and they can do nothing about it. He's been trying that flick over and over, finally gets one to pop. It's at the perfect time. Just a little over a minute to go here, and the blue side, don't look now, but they are the ones on series point potentially going to send Dexterity Bandits down to that third place match. What a turnaround in this series, but no, not if Solitude has anything to say about it. This is definitely a match. We have a match on our hands.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we've got a nail-biter on our hands, Samil. Less than a minute left to play. The series is at 1-1. The score is at 1-1. Who is going to come out on top and move on to the grand finals? The gauntlet is about to drop. Here's rolling Carey, getting the clear into the corner. But it's Solitude there to contest, tries to reset it, but of course Michael is there in the air to keep the offensive play alive. Gonna pick up some boost on the way back to the net, trying to defend here. Solitude versus Michael, but Michael's up for it first. Gets that first touch, has to get it by Void Pro, but unable to do so. Great touch from Void Pro will slow down some of this blue side offense. He's gonna back up for some boost and back up because it looks like Michael might be trying to make a play. Ball sent to the corner, yet again on the blue side. Solitude is up for it. Both players going wide. Now it's all on rolling Carey. A great 50-50 will slow that ball down, give Michael time to recover, but it's Solitude and Void Pro with the pass to take the lead by 1 with 11 seconds left to play.
Solitude, what a read, cutting the field into thirds there. He goes no further than the opponent's box, recognizing that that 50 win is in their favor. Michael too far forward, hoping that his team would be on a transition. Instead, it's in the back of their net. 2-1 late. Do we see another comeback here from the blue side, or will it be Dexterity Bandits going on to the grand finals? We will see as the ball is up. Blue needs to keep it there. Michael in the air has been so good there, but he's out of boots. Can he get it? No, it will drop. And Dexterity Bandits, they will sneak away with this victory here. And man, they're not going to look back.
I'll tell you what, Samael, if Roland Carey had opened that passenger side door, I think he gets the touch to get that one into the net. You're talking about a game of inches there. We're just slightly different position. We're going to a second overtime, but I got to give it up. The Dexterity Bandits persevering through that blue team onslaught to close it out there in the end.
Yeah, no doubt. I think we saw really what twos is, because these players, remember, they might not have a ton of experience with each other as well, so there's going to be that feeling out process, and we really saw that as it went back and forth in the first two games. But that game 3 was really, I think, a definition of the character of both of the teams. We saw a lot of pressure on Dexterity Bandits early, but they held through, they got the win, and that's a character win for a team that's now going to the grand finals.
Yeah, so that means the stage is set for our grand finals, and that means I'm going to bring in Glitter Explosion to get her thoughts on that matchup. Are you okay?
No, I actually don't think I am. I was not prepared for that. There was a point where I was like, okay, it's done. It's dusted. We have figured out. And then we get an overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Things aren't as obvious as they seem, and it just got closer and closer from there. I mean, you guys talked about it so much, the feeling out process, kind of figuring out how to play against your opponents. By the time it was all said and done, that might be, and I know it's only the first day of competition, but it might be the closest matchups that we will see this whole season. We'll have to wait and see if that's true, but like you were saying, that's now both of our semifinals matches done and completed. We're going to be heading into finals, but once again, after this quick break, so don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Logitech G Adaptive Esports Tournament featuring Rocket League. Now, if you missed it, you're going to have to go back and watch because we just had some insane semifinals matchups, specifically the second one, probably one of the closest matchups we've seen in a very, very long time, which of course means that our grand finals are now set. Frank, I think this is going to be very competitive.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Of course, a solid showing from Handicapped and Fear the Nub all the way to the grand finals here on the bracket graphic you're seeing, winning in 2-0 fashion. Dexterity Bandits, however, coming up against a tough opponent with Michael Dot and Rolling Carry, but they persevered, and now they're in the grand final. So, yeah, I'm excited to get into this one.
Yeah, and while our grand finals matchup is happening, obviously our third, fourth playoff matchup will also be happening. We'll be updating you guys after everything is all said and done so you can see how that all shakes out, because now, looking forward to grand finals, $1,400 is on the line, and you know that both of those teams are not going to go down easy.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because again, this is going to be a best of 5 instead of the best of 3
Yes.
that we saw. So we get a extra game guaranteed, no matter what. I guess in my, pipeline type dreams, we see those games, the stars align, and we see like one goal worth that $1,400. That's something that I always kind of fantasize about, I guess. You have like the tie score into the one goal worth all the money. We'll have to see if it plays out that way. I know I'm shooting for the stars here in qualifier number 1, but after that previous, series that we saw, I'm saying anything's possible.
I love it. And we're about to see if your dreams can come true, Frank. Our grand finals matchup is ready to get underway. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, let's get into it. Samael, if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm excited to see if we're going to get, one of those 1 in a million series. We got kind of close last time. I think that's some of the most competitive Rocket League we've seen so far in AET. So I'm expecting this grand finals to continue to deliver.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Michael was a big reason for that in that game number 2 and made sure that we had a series out of it. Excuse me, I'm a little sad that he is now down in that third place match. Going to be a tough one there, I think, for Watch Your Step. But certainly deserving over here are the Dexterity Bandits and what they did, sticking with it, getting that game 3 win when everything was on the line. We know then that means that they are clutch, and they did what it took. Got 2 out of 3. Now, one of these teams is going to need 3 wins here in this best of 5 to take it all.
Yeah, I would say, at least for Dexterity Bandits, they're going to have some of those pregame jitters kind of out of the way after that last series going down to the wire. Of course, Handicapped and Fear the Nub have a little bit of a time with that breather where they got to regroup after their semifinal, but now it's all come down to this best of 5. Again, for that first place, $1,400. Not a bad little payday there for an AET bracket. And it's Void Pro trying to set up his team across the front. Solitude does have that follow-up. Looks like Handicap Fear the Nub gonna have to rotate back in a hurry. And Nubby one-handed, able to regain and regroup to get this one tossed out of the corner right over one member of Dexterity Bandits, and that one's gonna bounce in.
Oh, a tough break there for the blue side as Dexterity Bandits played so well in that first minute. A ton of offense, but one miscue back the other way is a goal against. And I think the orange side certainly will take that one every time. Got a flip there too. This first time we've seen Dexterity in the blue, Handicapped in the orange as well. I got to make sure I don't get confused. That's mostly for me, is why I spoke that out loud into the universe like that. So yeah, that was mostly for me. But hey, this is a good initial start here from Orange after playing so much defense. One chance sometimes is all it takes.
Yeah, they haven't really missed a beat getting out here into the grand final, and like you mentioned, kind of the perfect scenario. I don't even think they had boost on that previous play, but neither did their opponent, so they're able to secure that goal without threat of a defender on that rotation. But here's Nubby one-handed, playing this one patient, playing it safe, getting that boost before securing the clear. Now going to try to line this one up, set his teammates up, wins that 50-50. Ball's popped up high in that corner. Handicap tries to get up for it, collides with one of the Dexterity Bandits, and this one's going to be sent the other way. Handicap, thankfully, able to get that touch, divert that one away from the net, but the blue team's not done yet. That flip, however, gonna go into the hands of Handicap, now set up at that 50-yard line. Nubby has to go up for this one, stop the aggression from Solitude. Solitude gonna center that one up. It's gonna be cleared away by Handicap and Fear the Nub. Now Handicap trying to make things happen for him and his team, extend this lead out to 2-0, and it's Nubby one-handed, securing that goal, then the 2-0 lead against the Dexterity Bandits.
And again, it's the vision mixed with the patience there from Nubby one-handed, recognizing when to go in twos. That is huge when you are the final man back. You cannot just be diving in. We're not seeing that at all from the orange side. They are patiently waiting for their moment, and then they are striking both of the first 2 goals. We saw that, and it's really just been a couple of chances that have been the difference here. But that's really all it's taken. The good thing for Blue is they've got a full half game here to get back on it, and we saw what they can do in the first 45 seconds. We know the offense that we could see from Dexterity Bandits. They just got to get back on that.
Yeah, they're just going to have to find their footing there. Again, maybe, feeling a little winded after that other semifinal going the distance. You kind of got to step back, take a little bit of a breath, and maybe they're just running out of gas here going right into this grand final. We will have to see, but Handicap and Fear the Nub not missing a beat. Ball over net yet again. Handicap going to be connecting here. And that's kind of what we saw out of that first semifinal. It was definitely Handicap putting up the hat tricks game after game. So Dexterity Bandits going to have to dig deep here, find a solution, because Handicap and Fear the Nub have not slowed down on offense at all.
No, and they're starting to find that control that we saw from them in that first series, led by Handicap. Really good give and go in the corner as he popped it out front, allowed Fear the Nub to get a touch, and there was Handicapped on the rebound to slam it home. They have shown now that they can set up offense, not only score off of mistakes, but also put things together as well. And this has been a really good showing in the first game here of this best of 5 in our grand final, and we see Orange side looking for more as there's a good rebound opportunity up off the backboard. They don't get that goal, but they may not need it as they are finding more and more control, more and more pressure in this game.
Yeah, it really seems like Dexterity Bandits, some of those routes, angles, and plays that they were able to connect with as Nubby one-handed. Not even going to let me finish my point. Able to secure that goal, go up 4-0 here. That great pass across the front. But yeah, Dexterity Bandits, some of those angles, some of those shot attempts that we saw work in the previous series not being allowed through by Handicapped and Fear the Nub here in the grand final. So you're going to have to start to look to change things up, mix things up, throw a different look, because right now it's all Handicapped and Fear the Nub. But here comes Solitude. We saw what he could do in that previous series. However, just a little slow on that rotation, so teammates not going to have the follow-up on that one. But Handicap, 1 minute left to play. Ball now into that corner. Blue team trying to fight for that clear. It's Nubby one-handed, keeping the offensive play for the orange team alive, trying to set up Handicap, fired right down the middle, but there's Solitude with another great save. Handicap, though, wrapping back around, trying to keep this one going, trying to extend this lead. We have Solitude now trying to get down onto this one for the pinch. Again, just so close, and that shot gonna go wide right. Dexterity Bandits not able to catch a break here in the grand final.
No, just needing to get that goal just to get them started. Unfortunately for the entirety of this game, just couldn't do it, and it really goes back to that first 45 when they had all of that pressure, and it feels like now, in hindsight, that's where they needed to get that early lead. And unfortunately, after that, for them, it was all orange, all Handicapped, and you're really impressed there with what he can do. He's reminding me a lot of what Michael did, but even better here in this series, and he's done it in game number 1 as Orange. They don't wait. They get the early lead in this series, 1-0 of this best of 5, and it was an impressive one as well. Some really good plays, some good looks. I really like that demo as well at the end, that really mixing things up as we saw speed through the neutral zone, a demo just to wipe out the opponent and to slam that pass across. So there's been a lot of goals from Orange early, scored in different ways, and that's tough for Blue, who are still looking for theirs.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned Michael from that previous series. Well, it's really like having two Michaels out there on the pitch, just with how well Handicapped and Fear the Nub have been kind of working together, kind of finding those goals, finding that teamwork, and I think that's just been difficult for the Dexterity Bandits to really adjust to coming off of that previous series. But here we'll have to see, again, map number 2, game number 2 in this best of 5. Handicap getting aggressive. Solitude, however, will find the demo on to Nubby. And here's Void Pro, however, trying to get things going for the blue team. Nubby one-handed, up in the air, going to be reset at that midfield marker. A little bit of a struggle and a potential opportunity for the blue team, and that is Solitude going to be connecting with the first goal.
And this actually reminds me of the first goal of the previous match, but this time it's Dexterity Bandits who are capitalizing on a mistake. And obviously with twos, there's a lot of ground to cover on the field. It's such a large space compared to threes where you've got another teammate usually there to back you out. It's almost like ones. It reminds me more of ones than it does of threes, because when you make mistakes, they will be punished so frequently, and we see it there. Dexterity Bandits, they will definitely take that every day of the week, as they were looking to get something in this series that may give them life, but no, that life is taken away here as Orange gets right back on the horse and gets a goal.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, now it's all about how does the Orange team respond. They're finally having to play from behind, having to adjust to their opponents, but that does not last long, as they are quickly answering back, getting themselves on the board, tying us up at 1-1 in this game. We'll have to see if they can continue to carry some of that momentum. Void Pro up high, has to readjust. Solitude, however, on the offensive, is going to connect from coast to coast to take the lead back for the Dexterity Bandits.
And Solitude, man, he put on the afterburners, and good thing too, because he was being chased in tow, but just out of the reach of the defender, both on the demo and the shot as well. Solitude sneaks it through. We saw big plays in the previous series from Solitude to get his team here to the grand finals, and they're gonna need a lot more of that if they're going to rack up some wins in this series. That was a good look. And now here's Void for Dexterity as well, looking to build on that lead. Controls in, gets a shot on, and no rotation yet, but there he is. Solitude, perfect play. Just a little wide, though, on the shot.
I like the patience out of Void Pro there as well. Didn't want to overcommit, chase that one down, try to secure the net, because that would allow the Orange team to get all of that offense on the empty blue side. So nice patience there. Handicap now trying to search this one down. Nubby, however, high flying at that ball. Thankfully, teammate is back, but Solitude is also up, but that ball being knocked down. Great intercept by Handicapped will reset that play. And here we have Nubby in the 1v1. Tries to pass to his teammate, but Solitude gonna knock that one back. Now Nubby needs to redirect this one away from his team's net. They still need to find one goal to tie this one up at 2s. That one's gonna be bounced into the blue corner. It's Void Pro waiting for that one to land to get that clear. Here's Nubby, though, winning that 50-50. Solitude now sending this one to the opposite corner of the pitch, and this one just jockeying for position. Both teams trying to set themselves up. Orange, however, with the shot on net, will be cleared away by a great save from Void Pro. They continue to fight to hold on to this 1-goal lead. Nubby tries to find something off the side wall, but not going to be productive there. Ball sent now into the Orange side of the pitch, into that corner. Blue team tries to get the knock up, but it's Handicapped here, and now Handicap is going, but no boost means that that play will die, as Blue team intercepts into that corner side of the pitch. Now reset towards the middle, but it's Nubby one-handed, knocking this one back, forcing Blue team back onto defense. Now Handicapped is up, and it is in, and we are back to being tied at 2s.
And the field was tilting and tilting in their favor for Orange. Felt like it was only a matter of time before that goal went in. A ton of control and a ton of great vision as well. Something I wanted to talk about this whole time. I'm so glad they scored, because it just really hammers home how good the vision has been from both Handicap and especially Fear the Nub as well. We talked a lot about Handicap tonight, but Nub has done a fabulous job of just completely filling in the gaps and finding his spots. You can see how patient he is right there, right in front of the net, not forcing shots, instead trying to deke the defense and really just thinking the entire time. Love to see these two playing together, and even though they don't have a fancy name like the other team, maybe they'll stick together, especially if they can get this win right here.
Yeah, they workshopped their game first. They said, we'll worry about the name later, and it seems like they had their priorities in the right spot, but it's Solitude. Able to go the distance yet again, starting on that 50-yard marker. Finding the net here. You saw Handicapped in that replay, trying to speed back, get the recovery, but is just unable to do so in time. They're going to have the 1-goal lead going into the final moments of this game, under 1:30 left to play. Nubby one-handed, trying to get this one, get the offense started for the orange side. They've had to battle back time and time again in this second game of the series, and they're going to need to find it once more. They want to tie us up at 3s. Void Pro gonna have a nice soft little touch, just trying to feel out the defense on that one, see if there's any openings. Now we have Solitude picking up the fresh boost in the corner with the handles, with the jukes, is able to shake the defender twice, gets around one, it's one defender left. Nubby is there, able to win that 50, and orange team will get the clear. Now it's all about, can they convert? Handicapped here has the one touch, gets it by one himself. Nubby is there with the shot on goal, but Solitude, the defensive stalwart for the Dexterity Bandits, gets another key save.
Yeah, he's really doing everything right now, controlling the ball upfield. We even saw his teammate waiting back. I mean, that's Void sitting in net, just letting Solitude do work right now, but it is working because he's winning so many 50s. Can get back, get boost, make another challenge. Void steps up, and that's going to take more time off of the clock here, as we're going to have to go all the way downfield for the orange team if they're going to have a chance in this game. One final opportunity. Can Nubby get underneath the ball to keep it up? He does. Off the wall, he banks it. 0 seconds. They've got an opportunity out front, looking there. Too little, though, and it will drop. Dexterity Bandits, they get the win and will rebound here, respond, tie the series up.
I was going to say, Samail, now we're back to the best of 3. We made it a best of 5, but players said, you know what, let's make it a best of 3 anyways. We're tied up at 1s, but a great showing, a great response from really both of these teams. A lot of back and forth. I think you're really seeing how that translates in game with, okay, we're throwing this look at them, here's how we'll respond. And then that kind of rock, paper, scissors in a circle between these teams is being really exciting to watch.
Yeah, and it's especially important in this environment in 2s. Talked about how similar it is to 1s, and talked about how much mistakes are so crucial. So as we look forward, of course, that's going to be on everybody's mind, how to figure out how to make plays without making mistakes. Both teams doing a really good job of that, and I think the series is just going to heat up as we go on now into this best of 3, like you said. So we're tied up 1-1. We did our best, but they want that format. I guess we're just going to have to give it to them. And we saw the last series. It's pretty exciting anyway, so.
Yeah, will this one go down to the wire, to the final game of the series? We will have to see. But like you kind of mentioned now, both of these teams have that download, have the intel, have the information on their opponents to be able to adjust, and the mind games can start to take hold now. Are they going to go for the looks that they've been going for, or are they going to mix things up? Here's Nubby playing this one patient, trying to get a read on his opponents. That one's going to be swung and missed, however, as Void Pro is there for the save. Handicap on the regain, on the retake, is going to let Nubby take this one out, get this clear, and look to follow up. But it's Void Pro at the 50, trying to get this one started again for the blue team, but Orange not having any of it. This one going to be sent across net. Handicap trying to speed in, get this one set up for Nubby. Nubby's there on the follow-up, but not able to connect. So here comes the Dexterity Bandits. Handicap looks to take this one up high and over the defense as he gets this one towards the midfield line. And a great shot from Nubby one-handed with that speed, but it's Solitude yet again with the great save. Both of these teams just battling back and forth. You can see the reads now. They've adjusted. They know what their opponents are going for, and they have to be there to stop it. Some real heaters of shots going from either way, and Solitude yet again going to knock that one up and away to stop Handicap and Fear the Nub from getting on the board first.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to stop them from getting on the board, but really that's just about it, as we have seen the orange side really turn it up a notch. Their team cohesion right now and control is just what are we watching the same players? I mean, they were doing good before, but this is just unbelievable. They started this game off with the ball, and they never gave it back practically, as they're moving around the field as one, and this has really been impressive. The adjustments you talked about, this is a whole different level of gameplay we're seeing from Handicapped and Fear the Nub right now. We got to see a response from Dexterity Bandits, and quick.
And they were doing a good job on defense, but it was just Handicapped and Fear the Nub, that orange team, just chipping away, and eventually that defense breaks down and the opportunity opens up. So great work from Handicapped and Fear the Nub. Does it continue, or can the Dexterity Bandits find a solution, get themselves on the board, keep this battle alive, keep the back and forth going? It's the demo from Nubby coming through, going to be taking down Solitude, and he's been the great defensive player for the Dexterity Bandits. So before he spawns back in, they find the net. Great play from Nubby one-handed.
This is unbelievable. I know we're in a close series. It's 1-1. It's only 2-0 in this game, but this is about to get out of hand, I'm telling you, because Orange is just like they were playing with us up until this point. And now keep in mind, they haven't lost or hadn't lost a game until this point. So maybe that last one just really they lit the fire, because that was the first game they lost in game number 2 in the entirety of this bracket. But I mean, I tell you what, they have come out just swinging so far. Nobody back on defense there. They thankfully have a third back on defense. That will be the Crossbars. They get some luck there. But man, what a start to this game, and it's already halfway over. And I tell you what, I'm really been impressed with the decision making and control coming out of Orange.
Yeah, and really that's kind of the nature of having one of these extended series with the Adaptive Esports tournaments. You don't want to play all your hand in qualifier number 1. So Handicapped and Fear the Nub kind of been drip feeding us the plays and the strategy, but of course Solitude with the Dexterity Bandit said, we are not done yet. Still a minute 49 left to play. They're getting on the board and they're looking to tie this one up yet again.
And when you're struggling to get offense, struggling to get out of your own end, that is the type of goal that can help get you back in a game. A big clear on field, on net, especially when the opponent is playing so aggressively, which of course, if you're Orange, you're feeling it right now. You're going to keep pushing. There's no reason not to. And that's a massive, massive goal for the Dexterity Bandits, as they were looking for something, anything to give them life in this game. They found it here, and now they'll just need to get downfield and find some more sustained offense, as they can't get a touch on that ball. Void won't either. Here comes Nubby one-handed, and right there is Handicapped as well, stepping up, making plays. They're rotating around, getting touches on the ball before the defense is even there. They're that fast right now, and it is really making Blue struggle. That's a big whiff in the corner as well, going to lead to a chance out center. They don't capitalize, and now we're back down. It's on net. That's going to be it.
Nice play yet again out of Solitude. Of course, Void Pro with the great touch on net to set him up, and it's really been Dexterity Bandits finding these openings, almost Handicap and Fear the Nub kind of overextending, focusing too much on offense and forgetting to transition back on defense when the play doesn't work out. So that's opened the opportunity now with 1 minute left to play for Dexterity Bandits to potentially take this game and move ahead in the series. To see how it plays out, however, Handicap, Fear the Nub, that shot on net. Solitude is there for the save off the wall, but Handicap sending a heater right by the defense.
More of that same pressure. They are do or die right now, and they're ready to just smother the defense. That clear, not far enough, and right there to follow up and cash in are Handicap and Fear the Nub. They have no fear right now of the defense of Dexterity Bandits. You can see in the way they're playing, and even though they've given up 2 goals where they probably should have been back, it's not stopping them from playing this style. This is how they want to play. This is how they want to take the grand finals. And until Dexterity Bandits, I think, win a game, we're probably going to keep seeing this from Orange. It's giving them this late lead here. They just got to hold on.
Yeah, Handicap and Fear the Nub essentially saying, we'll go shot for shot. We have confidence in our offense. We're not even worried about defense at this point in time. And when Nubby one-handed is hitting ones from range like that, it's hard to disagree with them.
Yeah, and again, it's that vision that we see from Fear the Nub. I mean, he's stepping up, making plays just at the right time. This time it's from his side of center as he bombs that ball on, but perfectly placed and in, giving them some breathing room right now to retake this lead in this series. What a series it's been so far. So glad that it's a best of 5, not a best of 3, and that we're going to continue on no matter what here after this one, as we have really seen a response. This has been back and forth, and this one will end with, I tell you what, a whole nother level of gameplay on the field right there coming out of Handicapped and Fear. So we got to see that response that we've been seeing all night. The team's been doing it all night. They've been responding all night. I fully expect that we're going to see the elevation on the other side to keep it going.
Yeah, I think, Void Pro and Solitude kind of found some of those openings, but it was all kind of Handicapped and Fear the Nub saying, oh, well, we're not done yet, right? Like, we have a little bit more to show here. They said, all right, you're going to make us try a little bit more? Okay, we'll try a little bit more. So while the Dexterity Bandits have done a great job kind of forcing that out of Handicapped and Fear the Nub, they really haven't struggled to answer that yet. We'll have to see if the Dexterity Bandits can kind of crest over that hill and start to take the lead back in the series, but the time is now as Handicap and Fear the Nub are on grand finals point. They're able to secure this one. Be walking away your winners of qualifier number 1 here.
Yeah, and they've done so well. We talked about how they hadn't dropped a game yet. Even though they've dropped a game in this series, we've seen why they've been so dominant, especially once it feels like they figured out Dexterity Bandits and the defense that they had. They've been not afraid to step up and try to make plays, and that style choice, that change of gameplay has really made all the difference. We see a big demo there as well. Opens it up, and Nubby one-handed up and over. The perfect shot into the upper 90. It's a floater in. Perfect everything about that play. Just perfect.
Textbook. You couldn't draw it up better if you tried, Samael. So a great start here for Handicapped and Fear the Nub. Again, on grand finals point, on the board first. They're probably feeling good, but I know that the Dexterity Bandits still have some left in the tank. We'll have to see if Solitude and Void Pro can keep this one going, get on the board. It's Nubby one-handed on the retreat into his corner, trying to get the clear. Reading the defense now, you can see him kind of calculating, but it's Solitude getting aggressive, taking this ball out of the possession of the orange team, and Void Pro just a little high on that one. Solitude being forced back onto defense will steal away that corner boost, trying to slow down Handicap and Fear the Nub, but it's Nubby surrounding that front of net, trying to line it up. Realizes that the blue team, however, is taking that one away, so they'll do a great job rotating back onto defense, trying to slow this one down, regroup just a little bit, but the blue team trying to find an opportunity. One shot will go slightly wide left. It's a chase down into the corner. Void Pro trying to set up Solitude. Solitude hanging out that midfield line, but it's Handicap going in and will carry that one right in front of the net and through. A great play out of the orange team.
Yeah, and it was really a dive. I mean, what are you going to do when you're back on defense right there? Handicap has so many options once he won that initial 50 on net. So much time to choose what he did, and obviously he is not going to make mistakes. We've not seen that from him. Once he's had opportunities tonight, he has cashed in almost every single time. That is a big, big insurance goal here for this orange team, who are looking to just end this grand finals as our winners. And boy, they have been looking to do it in style and with pressure, as Dexterity Bandits got to be wondering, where did this come from? But again, this is it. It's the pressure, and then what? A goal every now and then because nobody's back on defense. We've seen this before.
Yeah, and I would love for Handicapped and Fear the Nub to adjust and start to predict that, knowing that the Dexterity Bandits have gone for that time after time, but they don't seem too concerned, Samael. They're saying, you know what, you got one on net? All right, we'll answer back with some offense of our own, and they're doing just that. Here comes Nubby into the corner, trying to set up his teammate, but the demo will come through from Handicapped, but the clear at least comes through for the Dexterity Bandits, so that will slow down the orange team just a bit. Now we have Solitude, tries to go up for this one through the defense, does get the touch onto Nubby, but the ball will be reset. Teammate trying to keep the play alive, but it's Handicap there to set up that clear, and it's Nubby with the follow-up, and it's an empty net for the blue team, and it's Handicapped and Fear the Nub on the board yet again.
Returning the favor there as Handicap step up and get a goal. Fear the Nub has done this time and time again tonight, recognizing when there's a time to step up and get a steal and get a goal directly off of it. Leading his team here, really, when Handicap we thought was going to be the star coming into this series, Fear the Nub has also been there as well. This has truly been a team, and this team effort has been the difference here, as Dexterity Bandits struggling to get an answer. And we may see another. Oh man, just a little bit wide, as the defender there, though, did a good job of stepping up and taking away space away. But the orange team, they are just continuing to put their grip on this series, as it feels like it is going to take desperation from the other team. And that's something I haven't seen, Frank. I haven't seen that desperation from blue that we've seen from the orange side ever since we started game 3.
Yeah, we're going to have to see, again, if the Dexterity Bandits can kind of dig deep yet again, find something, get those 2 goals to tie this one up. But I think, you know, Handicapped and Fear the Nub, they're content with just keeping this offensive pressure on, knowing that those goals from Solitude, those sneaky ones he's been able to slide through, are few and far between. And I'm going to have to wait for the replay on this one to see how this one was even set up. It's all the way from the other end of the pitch. Just a little chip shot, blue team missing the intercept, and it's Handicap extending this lead now to 3.
Yeah, and those are the types of goals you really can't let happen at this point when you're trying to get back into the game, into the series, trying to stay into this grand finals if you're Dexterity Bandits. But, you know, hand it to the pressure that we've seen from the orange side. You expect that they will find mistakes and sort of draw those out, because they have played so well, and their offense has been really tough to work with, or tough to deal with, and we're not going to see a response, I don't think, for that offense. They've cut this field in half right now. I mean, they're not even rotating back to their end at this point. When there's plays to be made, they're making them, and they're making goals out of it.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned how the blue team needs to kind of go into that desperation mode, and that's kind of the double-edged sword. The nature of that beast is you start to get a little desperate, but sometimes that opens up the field for your opponents. And Samael, we're nearing that 7-goal mark. If Handicapped and Fear the Nub get another one on the board quickly, we might end this one before the clock runs down.
Yeah, and it's that interesting situation now where we've talked about a team with so much control. They're taking control of this series. They've got control of their destiny right now. They can just put this game away. I would kind of want, if I was in this situation, I would want to be the one to just stop the clock. And there it is, 7-1. They've done it. And I tell you what, the rule comes into play in the grand finals when they win it. You can't write this stuff.
Right as you were saying it, too. Perfectly coordinated. Right there. So there's that rule coming into play. And, you know, if I'm Handicapped and I'm, you know, Fear the Nub, I'm happy about that rule. We can close it out right here. We don't have to worry about the comeback if we can get one more goal up on the board. They're able to do that, but it wasn't an easy journey for them at all. The Dexterity Bandits definitely putting up a fight, taking that first game that we've seen off of Fear the Nub and Handicap. So well played to them, but it was all momentum. Fear the Nub and Handicapped really working that up to close it out.
No doubt about it. And we talked about all night, we talked about responses, we talked about making adjustments. And unfortunately for Dexterity, they didn't have the adjustment to the offensive push that we saw starting in game number 3. It was like a flip was switched, I tell you what. And I noticed even before they got the first goal, we saw a team rotation come out of the Handicapped Fear the Nub team that we didn't see before. We hadn't seen that previously in the night. It's like they found something with their team cohesion, and that's really exciting to see as they clinch here. And now they've obviously, hopefully, paved their way in to making it into our grand finals. But we'll have to wait to see. I may be getting ahead of myself a little bit.
Yeah, the crystal ball, we'll take it out a little bit further down the line, Samael, I think. But I think you made some great points. And the fact that we are seeing this level of play here out of our first qualifier of the Adaptive Esports tournaments is definitely an exciting sign for the things to come. But I think that's going to do it between me and you. But I'm going to check in with Lauren and see what she thought of that grand finals. Glitter, thoughts on that one?
You know what? It started off the way that I had anticipated. Very, very even across the board, super competitive. But like you both were kind of talking about throughout that last match and at the end there, they just figured something out cohesion-wise in the team. It got a little bit better every single match throughout the whole bracket too. And then in the end, I mean, that is a well-deserved grand finals win.
Yeah, to me, it really feels like the bar has been set of the standard of play, and it's so elevated from what we saw out of the previous season too. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been smiling like ear to ear this entire time, just because the match quality has been so good. I can't wait for how the rest of this season is going to turn out.
Listen, you guys can't see it, but he stands up behind this desk. He gets very into the casting. He's super, super hyped while it's happening.
Well, yeah.
The games are awesome. Frank's excited about it. But let's take a look back at the bracket, okay, if you're just joining us to see how everything panned out. We've been talking about our grand finals match, and it's handicapped and Fear the Nub that have a phenomenal performance and close things out, and our very first champions for our first event day back in our Logitech Adaptive Esports tournament. I mean, huge congratulations, obviously, to the both of them. That's got to feel good. And then, of course, we did say we would update you guys on the 3rd, 4th playoffs match as well, and we could see that it was Michael Dot and Rolling Carey that also did very well.
Yeah, but even that one not being, you know, a 3-0 victory, watch your step, also getting a game win up on the board. So this is kind of what I'm hinting at, Glitter. I think we are in store for some of the closest, most competitive matches we've seen in Adaptive Esports tournament history.
Yeah, and if you guys think you can make them even more competitive, please head on over to aet.gg and get yourselves signed up for our next qualifiers. Who knows? You might be taking home $1,400 for our first place winner, our champions of that match, because of obviously $3,000 on the line for every single qualifier. That is a lot of money. And of course, a huge thank you to all of our partners for helping us put on this entire show. Obviously, Logitech G, Mount Sinai, Able Gamers, and Adaptive Action Sports. This was a great way to kick off our entire tournament series. How are you feeling?
I'm legitimately upset that I have to wait for more. is how I'm feeling, is the answer right now. If we could just spin up the next one right now, I would go for it. But you know what? It's probably best that I take some time to breathe. I haven't done that in a minute here, and we'll give the players some time to practice, come prepared for the next one. And yeah, like I said, I'm just excited to see more.
You just have to enjoy the ride, okay? We've got a nice long series ahead of us. I am very excited about it. Hopefully you all at home are excited about it as too, because we have another qualifier right around the corner. For now, we're going to say goodbye, but we'll see you next time.